Recently, we worked on a Toyota 4Runner and it had heavy amounts of pet hair. Not only that, but the plastics were covered in debris, dust, slobber, pollen, and all the fabric seats needed a thorough shampoo. So literally the entire vehicle had to go through a very thorough and extensive cleaning to get it back to a, acceptable condition. Now on top of that is that the pet hair itself was very short and the fabric is, the pile was also short. So in that combination, made it even more difficult to remove the pet hair. So I'll take you through the process on what we did to transform the vehicle, and we did it in 2.5 hours. We did it with 2 people, and I believe we charged $300 for this. Now keep in mind, we are professionals. We're doing this as a business. This one vehicle was just one of 4 that we serviced that day. So it's not like I can get close-ups and really capture all the process that we're doing. I have to just set up the camera and we work, and I can get what I can get. But I was able to capture the entire process, just not like super close shots of everything that we're doing. And don't worry about the tools or products that I'm using. Everything, well, mostly everything, will be linked down below, because I won't be naming any of the tools and products that we use just because there's so many and I don't know, So just check the description box down below, and you can check out my podcast, the Detailing Business Class podcast. You can request access to the Detail Group's Facebook training group, and you can check out any other links that are, that I'm working on. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the detail, and let's show you the before shots. Now, the first part is removing the pet hair from the vehicle. We can't go into shampooing. It'll kind of slow down the plastic cleaning process if we don't get that pet hair out of the way. So I want to say the first 35-ish, 40 minutes, Lex and I were just hammering away at the pet hair. We're using the drill brush, we're using the air compressor, we have 2 vacuums. I brought my own other separate blower along with the air compressor, vortex cleaner, fabric softener, lily brush. We're using everything that we have, because it's a lot of pet hair and we have to get done with the pet hair so we can move on to the next steps. So if you're doing this as a business, it is best to play around with the systems that you run. Don't get too stuck onto like, hey, this is how we're gonna do it every single time. So on this one, because we have to finish the car, because it was so much work to do, as let's say the heavier amounts of pet hair was on the back side of the vehicle. Okay, so we were already 35-40 minutes into pet hair removal. Not that we were almost done, but we had made a great enough progress to where I could start cleaning the plastic pieces, and Lex would continue to just go by and clean up all the pet hair. So I basically left the pet hair process and I started cleaning the plastics being the door panels, basically any plastics that were in the immediate area. Now with this, so as Lex was moving forward from the back row to the middle row, I would switch and go to the back side where he was vacuuming. That way we're not crossing each other's paths and we're not getting each other's way. So you have to play around with your own system, see what works, especially with it's like when it's heavier, when it's vehicles that have like way more whatever filth or anything. You're gonna have to play around with your systems to see what's gonna be most optimal for that situation. We don't usually run a system like that, but on vehicles like this that requires a lot more work, we'll change some things around. Now, as Lex was moving along with the pet hair, as I was starting my way from the back, moving forward, I would also be touching up the headliner. That way I could kind of just, in one whole wave, take care of the backside. Now, was I completely done with the backside? No, but I was doing the best that I can at the time. So, based on I couldn't move all the seats forward and backwards because Lex was still working around that as well. So the best of my ability, without getting in his way, I was trying to kind of, just kind of move a whole wave through the backside. Now, once Lex was done with the shampooing, we started working on the panels. Then we went again to the backside, started working forward again, and then we started getting more thorough into all the plastic panels. So this is in conjunction with the steamer, with the air compressor, with a bunch of brushes, APC pads, cleaning pads. We're using all these things to just go through the entire surfaces. One thing to note is that since we have so much machinery and stuff out there, you always want to have as clean of an environment that you can. So once I was done with the vacuuming and the blowing, I put those machines up so I could just clear up more space. Once Lex is complete with the vacuuming, he'll reel it up until we need it at the very end. Yes, it adds a little bit more time to reel it up or put it away, even though we're going to use it again later in the detail. But it keeps a clean work environment. We reduce the risk of tripping or of someone else tripping over the cords. And it just looks better and feels better to work around a cleaner work environment. So we always like to clean things up as we go along. I want to say by the time Lex completed the first round of pet hair removal, I was just about done with all the backside plastics of the interior. So now, as I continued to clean the plastics, Lex went on to start the shampooing process. So that's getting the pump sprayer, switching out the attachment on the drill, pre-spraying the seats, agitating, and then extracting. Now I went away from cleaning the plastics to help Lex speed up the shampooing process by agitating with him. So we sprayed all the seats and we both agitated using 2 separate drills. And once I was done with the drills, he went to the extraction and I went back on the plastic panels. Now, once Lex has completed the extraction, we're now both gonna move to the plastic panels, and we're both gonna knock that out, whatever is left. Now wrapping up the detail, we wiped down the door jambs, we cleaned the windows and glass, we conditioned some of the plastic surfaces, and then we did one last blowout or vacuum, where this is, of course, things are gonna fly around. We may have missed some spots, we may have dislodged some more pet hair, so we'll do one final pass of vacuuming and blowing to make sure we get as much of that last residual pet hair out of the vehicle. And after 2.5 hours of work, we complete the vehicle. It is a night and day difference, and here are the results. Clean now. What you doing right there?
I'm applying a disinfectant just to help during these times.
All right, so that's the entire service. The customer was completely thrilled. No, I'm not gonna show the customer's reaction. I'm just not gonna do that. That's never really been an interest of mine. But they texted us saying, "Hey, you guys did amazing work. It looks absolutely fantastic," because it was a huge before and after difference. Again, sorry for I don't get close-ups. I don't, I just can't do that anymore. If there's 3 people in the vehicle and it's not that bad, I can probably get a few more shots. But especially just being Lex and I, we have to be able to knock out the vehicle fast because again, we had a 2015 Honda Odyssey at 1 o'clock. I forget the third vehicle. It was like a scratch cleanup or a stain cleanup, and then the fourth vehicle was a premium wash on the Urus or Urius. I don't know what they're called. But other than that, I'll leave it right here. Any of the links to the tools and products, to my podcast, to the training Facebook group, to whatever it may be, just check the description box down below. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns about the video, what we do, how we do, why we do, tools and products. Whatever the case may be, leave those in the comment section down below, and I'll talk to you on the next one.